Okay. But if anyone has a Java knowledge, then it will be very easy for them. Why? Because they have been used Eclipse, right? So the similar things will be there here also. But in Eclipse, usually we used to write the code manually. We used to write the code. We won't see the graphical editor over there and all. But by using this Eclipse only, they have built this studio where we can develop our code by using this Mule ESB, Mule Studio and all. Till now, okay, that is fine. Mule ESB, as this is an open source and this is integration platform which is used to develop, and we have an AnyPoint studio where we can where we can integrate the data, we can build the code and all. Why we want? Why can't others? What is the advantages of this Mule ESB? Is Mule, actually the thing here is like it is a very lightweight and it is easy to use compared to other ESBs. If you see Oracle Service Bus or SOA, they are not very lightweight. OSB is a bit related to Mule ESB only, but compared to Mule ESB, OSB is also not a lightweight. Okay. Since it is mostly Java based, so it is very easy to build the custom components. Okay. The same as like a similar kind of thing only, OSB also, Oracle Service Bus also, which has been developed by or which has been given by Oracle only. But compared to other products also, this is a very lightweight and easy to use. And in this Mule ESB, we have a collection of different connectors. We have a large collection to connect and then to integrate with different systems. So simply we can say that it is almost, we can connect to any system, even if you want to connect to the cloud also. If you see the diagram over here, you can see that. But the other integration platform tools won't do that. We need to apply some patch, or we need to integrate with other applications. Then only we can connect to that particular system and all. But here, Mule ESB, it is like you can connect to any system. That kind of features available in Mule ESB. And as I told you earlier, Mule, it is a graphical based, like most other ESBs also the same thing. And then most flows are mostly configured with XML. All these code, whatever we are going to write, if you see in the background, in the source code, it will be in XML. Okay. And the most important point for using this Mule ESB is less expensive. Compared to other products, this is less expensive, very less expensive. Even you can also download and then you can develop your code by using this Mule ESB. Okay. Mule, actually Mule, it has earlier we had a problem with small size of its community. Nowadays, again, Mule community, it is expanding like others. So at last, what I can say is like Mule, it is a very easy to use. If you want to expose, for example, if I want to expose as a web service, and if I want to do various transformations, then you just need to concentrate on your Mule flow. No need to take care of exposing the services to an endpoint, or no need to write any code in that. You are not going to do anything on that. You are just concentrating on what flow you are going to develop. What code you are writing, you are not going to take care of that. No need to do that. Okay. So by using those features, by using those properties itself, you are able to develop your code. No need to sit and write manually your code step by step. So what I can say is like, so if you see here, introduction to Mule ESB, Mule, it is a lightweight Java-based enterprise service bus, and this Mule ESB, it is built on top of Java. It is a very lightweight Java-based ESB. It is an integration platform. It allows the developers to connect to the applications for exchanging data. And it is an open source tool. Okay. We can say that it is a complete integration platform. It provides a visual editor for developing, and for this developing we use Anypoint Studio, which is a flexible one for just drag and dropping all the components and developing the code. Main thing is like we usually, if you go to other integration platforms and comparing with other products, more or less there will be advantages as well as disadvantages as well. But compared to other integration platforms which are running in the today's world, compared to that, Mule ESB is the best choice. Why? Because it is a very less expensive, it is a very lightweight when compared with other ESB, other integration tools. Sunil, till now, do you have any doubts?
No, I am following through.
Are you clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So as I told you, it is a very lightweight ESB and it is used for integrating framework. It is an integration framework. It is this tool for designing and developing. We use Anypoint Studio. And again, this Anypoint Studio, it is an Eclipse-based IDE. You will say IDE. Even Eclipse also, it is an IDE, right? IDE is nothing but integrating development environment. Okay. For this Mule ESB, we are using Anypoint Studio for designing, testing, and running Mule flows. Okay. And in this Anypoint Studio, as I told you, we have visual editors and XML editors. Visual editor, it is just a graphical. XML editor, where if you want to see your code, what in the backend, whatever you have developed in the visual editor, if you want to see that what is happened in the backend, then you will go to XML editor. Or if you are not able to find an issues in the visual editor, then you will be searching in the XML editor. So we have two editors over here in Anypoint Studio. Okay. And compared to other ESBs, we have one more main feature is Mule ESB, it comes with lots of cloud adapters. Like we have an Anypoint connector where we can connect to the cloud, which it gives a very big strength for Mule ESB. Okay. And one more thing is REST APIs. Nowadays, if you see, most of the projects are dealing with REST APIs only, not with XMLs or SOAP services. Most of all the organizations are dealing with REST APIs only. So this REST APIs, what is this REST? Do you have an idea of what is REST?
Yeah.
Can you please let me know what is REST?
It's a representative state transfer.
Right. It's an API.
It's a stateful transactions.
Right. We have post, get, put, delete, those kind of verbs in REST services. Whereas in SOAP services, we'll be having only we don't have a verbs in SOAP services usually. Okay. Whereas in REST, we'll be following all these verbs and then we'll be developing the code. Okay. So this representational state transfer APIs, it is for developing this REST APIs. Usually it is very simple by using RAML. We have a RAML.
What is that?
RAML, RAML. REST Application Management Language, modeling language, I think. REST Application Modeling Language. If you want to deal with REST APIs, usually if you say XML, then you'll be having schemas, right?
Yeah.
For REST APIs, usually we'll deal with XML as well as JSON, right? So RAML usually we can do, it's a kind of JSON only, but not the JSON. Usually we can say that it's a kind of schema definitions. The schema definitions for REST APIs will be developed in RAML. Okay? For example, if I want to post the data for REST APIs, then I need to structure for that particular REST API. So it's a kind of definition. It's same as like if for XML we'll have XSD, same as like that. We will be developing our REST APIs by using RAML files. Okay? So we can do development by using RAML. So RAML development can also be done in Mule ESB. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So this RAML usually RAML. This RAML, it is usually will be similar like JSON only, JSON contract only. Okay. So will be, but in JSON what you used to have, we have only the request or a response payload, right? Of in JSON format. But in RAML, we have a request, response, as well as the type of verb that we are going to use. Either if it is get method, put method, post method. So we'll be having the entire structure of the REST API.
Okay.
So this entire structure will be developed by using RAML only. Again, to develop this RAML file, we'll be using Anypoint Studio. Okay. So that feature, that tool is also developed by Mule ESB only. We have a API Studio for that. This API Studio, what it will do, we are going to develop. If I want to develop a structure of the REST API, I can develop it in my API Studio. Okay. That is one big strength again here for using this Mule ESB compared to other integration tools. And then Mule ESB compared to other products, license its cost is very less compared to OSB or SOVA or other products.
Okay.
That's the reason we'll be preferring Mule ESB. Usually not developers, as you know, like the organization, they will think about the budget, they will think about the licensing cost, how much, and they will think about the productivity. So developers, what they used to do, which suits to that requirement, that's it. But if you come to the organization level, they will think that the business users, they will think that the budget, the cost, the licensing cost, the productivity, the performance, the fast, time saving, they will think all these things. So in that way, Mule ESB gives the big strength for them. That's the reason they used to prefer Mule ESB. And also other, as I told you, other products doesn't come with cloud adapters like Salesforce, Twitter, Amazon. All these things, they are not going to come. They're not going to come in the sense they're not going. It's not a built-in tool, okay? But for Mule ESB, it's a built-in Anypoint connector where we'll be using this Anypoint connector to connect to the cloud or some other Salesforce applications or Amazon services. Because if you use other integration tools, you can't connect with that applications directly. You can't connect to the Amazon system directly. You can't connect to the Salesforce applications directly. But Mule ESB has a feature. It has a built-in feature where you can connect to that applications directly. I'll tell you one example, like in my experience itself, self-experience itself, like when I was working in Oracle products, I used to connect to the Salesforce application. That is my requirement actually. If I want to connect to the Salesforce application by using Oracle product, what I used to do is like I need to apply some patch and that patch is also, it is not that much easy, as it is not a free trial or it is not an open source where I can easily download, install and then apply that patch. That is not the way. I need to get the approvals, I need to get the license for that patch. I need to, it is not an open thing where I can get it everything and then I can install and apply. So to get that, it has been taken for me like more than 3 months to apply that patch. And once I apply that patch, I need to check with that systems by using that patch whether I'm able to connect to that particular system or not. I need to check it out. But that is also again not the easy way. The second step is also not the easy way to connect to that particular system, even though if I apply patch. There are a lot of approvals where I need to connect, I need to get, because there will be a lot of security. If you want to connect to some legacy systems, there is a lot of security if I want to enter into that particular application. After entering, again, if I want to get the data from that particular file, again, there will be some lot of security where that is not an easy way to get all these things will be done as easy as simple. So, this coming to this Mule ESB, there is a built-in features where you can connect to that systems easily, because anyway you have a connector. No need to apply any patch, first thing. And the second thing is you need to connect to the application. If they have provided that endpoint connector or some adapters to connect to that systems, then automatically they will have some instructions where you can follow and you can connect to that particular system. That is the second thing. And getting the data, once you connect to the system, you can easily get the data. You can easily get the data and integrate the data between to the other systems, right? So that's the reason Mule ESB came into the picture. That is one reason where you can connect to any system by using Mule ESB. But other Oracle products doesn't come with this. Even with not with cloud adapter also, it is not that much easy to connect to the system. Now, actually, even this REST APIs. If you see REST APIs, actually, if you see the Oracle products in earlier versions, like in 10G or 11G, we don't have an capability by using Oracle products. We don't have a capability to connect to that particular REST, to connect to the REST APIs and get the data. That is also not easy. Now they have, Oracle also has published a latest version like 12C. There they have given a feature where we can connect to the REST APIs. But Mule ESB is not like that. Mule ESB, it has a built-in feature where you can use that adapters, REST API adapters or connectors, and you can get the data. So coming to compared with other products, it is not user-friendly. OSB or SOA is not user-friendly. Whereas Mule ESB, it is a user-friendly, it is very lightweight, licensing cost is also very less, as well as easy to use. You can understand easily why, because we have a visual editor over there. We can see the entire flow, and if you have any issues, you can see the backend code as well, which is in the XML format, and you can integrate the data. So it's very easy to access. That's the reason Mule ESB came into the picture, as well as it became very successful. So if you see here, Mule transports, as I told you, it is nothing but adapters. Do you have a knowledge on adapters, Sunil?
No, not exactly.
Do you know what general word of adapter?
Yeah, so for example, so if you want to adopt something, means how can I put this? So in the Java design pattern, so we have that adaptive pattern, right? So if you want to adapt the functionality of some other application or something like that.
Actually, adapters in the general terminology is like if I want to connect to two systems. Let us
Yeah.
say there are two systems, system 1 and system 2. In both systems, I need to connect to database. Okay, system 1 database, system 2 database. Now,
Yes.
I need to have some adapter where I can connect to the database system. Okay.
Yes. Correct.
So for that, we'll be having some features. Let us say in Mule also we have a database adapter. Okay,
Yeah.
where database adapter, it is going to connect to the database system and then get the data and send that data to system 2.
Okay.
Okay, the same terminology, instead of adapters we used to say transports.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
in Mule we used to say transports.
Okay.
Okay, see here, if you see Mule transports, there are a lot of transports. It depends upon your requirement. You are going to get that particular transport and use that transport. We have a file transport. File transport is nothing but if I want to connect to a file system, if I want to connect to a directory and get the file from the directory, then I used to use file adapter, file transport. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Let us say FTP. FTP is file transfer protocol. If I want to connect to a particular file in the remote system, actually there is a difference between file and FTP.
Yeah.
File is like if I want to connect to two local systems, okay, then I
Okay.
used to go for file transports. If I'm going to get the file from the remote system, then I'm going to use FTP transport.
Okay.
Okay. It means that if I want to get a file between two systems and if it is local, then I'm going to use file. If it is remote, then I'm going to use FTP.
Okay. Okay. I got it.
You got it, right?
Yeah.
So in that way, there are a lot of transports in Mule also. So we'll have EJB, email. If I want to connect to an email system, then email, file, FTP, JDBC, JMS. All these are transports where I can going to get the data based on the requirement. Going to connect to that particular system and going to use a particular transport to get the data between two systems. Okay. So in this we are going to use few transports in our classes to understand what exactly the transport is, how we are able to connect to the two systems, how we are going to get the data between two systems. Okay, that is Mule transports.
Okay.
And then coming to the last page, that is table of contents. So actually in the coming classes, we usually go through with all these things like introduction to Mule, which version of Mule we are going to use, Mule terminology, the architecture of Mule, and then what Mule usually used to have, what all the components we are going to use, what all the transformations, filtering, routing, and we have MEL. MEL is nothing but Mule expression language. How we are going to do error handling, all these things, and we are going to do one sample project. There will be a lab for every day's practice. For every day's class, we'll be having a lab. We need to do the practice for that, and we will be doing like as a real-time project. How we are going to do exactly, we are going to do with the same thing here also in the coming classes. So do you have any doubts, Sunil?
No, not it.
Okay, so that's it for this demo. So usually I think you understood why Mule ESB, why we are going to work on this Mule ESB, why can't other integration products and all.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to know anything apart from this?
No, nothing much. Yeah.
You can ask me like whatever doubts you have, whatever clarification you require, you can ask me.
Yeah. Correctly, I don't have any questions. I need
Okay.
to go through this again. What it says, then I'll search it and I'll then what it is exactly. I understood
Right.
what did you say, what you said, but I'll
Okay.
again go through once again.
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. So usually if you are going to integrate integration tools, usually if you want to go to Fusion middleware
Yeah,
thing, then Mule ESB is the right choice. And do
yeah.
you have an idea on earlier products, Fusion middleware products?
No.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, you can go through the contents as well as you can go through why we are doing this Mule ESB and all.
Yeah.
Then you can come to me and you can ask me whatever questions or doubts you have.
Sure, sure.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Sunil.
Thank you. Thanks a
Thank you.
lot.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.